Good Friday morning, everybody, and thanks for joining us for News 5 Now at 8 o'clock. I'm Shamani Baker here with a special guest and someone who just got a new certification, Grant Skinner. I want to brag on you for a second here, Grant. Tell us about this new certification.
Yeah, I just got the email probably about 15 to 20 minutes ago, so it's a very new thing. I'm still kind of like going through like, wow. It's a long process, but it's called the Certified Broadcast Meteorologist designation from the American Meteorological Society, and it basically just means that I'm held to a certain standard when it comes to the meteorological knowledge and being able to communicate the weather as well. So it's a huge thing for me. It's a long process.
Yeah.
I took an exam back in October, November, and then they reviewed my weathercasts to see that I was fit for the designation. So,
and you've
sigh of
worked
relief.
so hard,
Yes,
Grant.
it was a lot of studying.
Are so proud of you.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Let's
it.
drop some hand claps in the chat, guys. We are so proud of Grant. You guys don't get to see it all the time, but he works so hard on and off the camera, and no better person than you to receive the certification.
You do as well. It's been a busy week for all of us. We've been all working very hard, and we appreciate you all tuning in throughout this week during this is historic snowstorm. It's been a wild ride. A lot of ice on the road still, so be careful out there.
We are going to talk about that and some other stories that we are keeping an eye on for you all. We're going to tell you what those are in just a second here.
Brought to you by Green & Phillips, covering news from your neighborhood and around the world. News 5 Now starts right now.
Well, if you joined us before, you know the drill. We are going to start this thing off with the big stories this morning, starting us off with number 5. President Donald Trump announced on Thursday that he'll declassify any remaining files from the assassinations of President John F. Kennedy, Robert F. Kennedy, and civil rights leader Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Trump is ordering the Director of National Intelligence and the Attorney General to spend the next 15 days coming up with a plan to release the JFK files.
And number 4, early voting in Santa Rosa County for the first congressional seat primary special election resumes today. The voting locations that will be open are the Maine Supervisor of Elections Office in Milton and the South Santa Rosa Service Center in Gulf Breeze. Both locations will be open from 7 in the morning till 7 at night. So it looks like it just opened about an hour ago.
And number 3, first responders are getting a big thank you from Moe's Original Barbecue in downtown Mobile. Mobile police officers were among the many public servants being served a hot, delicious meal on Thursday. In light of the winter weather conditions, the restaurant's management says they wanted to do something nice for the men and women working to keep everyone safe, and they've been doing just that. They've been out on the road since Monday night into Tuesday, working 24 to 48-hour shifts, and we certainly want to say thank you for all your hard work.
We're working extremely hard around the clock to make sure our city and citizens are safe.
Right.
All right, number 2, Milton, Florida saw a record-breaking 10 inches of snow from Tuesday's storm, and that broke a 130-year record. The city is now recovering from the snow and slowly opening businesses back up and getting roads cleared for folks, as many parts along the Gulf Coast are doing. The city says that 10 inches of snow had the city unsure where to go next, with the road and school closures for much of the week, but schools in Santa Rosa County plan to reopen on Monday.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
10 inches of snow in Florida. I thought I'd never see the day.
It's pretty remarkable. I mean, the entire Gulf Coast seeing 7+ inches across the board was pretty incredible to see.
Right.
Yeah.
So Okaloosa County, Escambia County, Santa Rosa County, Mobile County, Baldwin County, all schools are expected to start back on Monday. That's just a heads up for all of the parents out there. And number 1, many communities along the Gulf Coast were caught by surprise, unable to pre-treat roads ahead of the historic Big Freeze. Parts of I-10 in Alabama and Florida were shut down early Thursday morning, even as roads began to thaw. Portions of several state highways and local streets were also closed across the Gulf Coast. Now, ahead of the winter weather, Mobile city leaders said the city wasn't able to pre-treat roads due to a lack of equipment and chemicals. The city says they do not plan to invest in winter weather equipment and chemicals anytime soon. They say this would be a multi-million-dollar investment that would hardly get used, which they're not wrong.
Right, and that was the big thing is they, did what they could when the time came. I mean, we had a lot of snowfall, and so they try to get on the roads and try to help out as much as possible. This is just a pretty significant amount of snow that we were forecasting for snow, obviously, but this is a pretty remarkable amount.
Right. It's they're right. It's hard to prepare for this kind of thing, and spending that many dollars, your taxpayer dollars, on something like that'll get used maybe once every.
And this is the highest single day snowfall and event snowfall ever recorded. It's in recorded history. So I mean, it doesn't happen every day. So it's hard to invest all that money into the equipment. I totally understand.
That's right.
Yeah.
We are going to move over to our question of the day, which is: just 4 teams remain. What's your dream Super Bowl matchup here? This is a question for you, Grant. This is a question for you.
All right, Eagles and Bills. I think that would be a great matchup. Bills are looking really good right now. So I'm here for that. And the Eagles also looking great. They've got Hurts and Saquon. My mom loves that combo.
Oh,
so
yes.
She's been watching the Eagles a lot. I love Eagles and Bills, but you better not underestimate the Chiefs. So Eagles and Chiefs. Okay, I mean, Chiefs are really great in the postseason. I feel like they always come with that energy, but some people, you see, not the Chiefs. Some people are ready for someone different.
Somebody's a little jealous, not the Chiefs.
Some people, I feel like, I'm not speaking for my own opinions. I'm just saying in general, I feel like some people are ready for a different matchup.
It sounds like that's you, Grant. That's how you feel deep down inside.
Well, I would be excited for a different matchup.
Okay.
I think Eagles and Bills would be really cool to see. That's my take on it. But I mean, I can see the Chiefs also being in there. Mahomes, Kelsey, that whole team is still playing very well. It's scripted anyway.
Oh my goodness. I'm rooting for whoever has the best mascot. That's how I get my teams. Whoever has the best mascot, whoever's colors look the best, I'm rooting for you.
Well, I think if I was thinking of what would look best on me, colors that look good on me, Eagles would be great.
Okay.
I think
I can see that.
The green.
Is that the turquoise?
That's green with the red hair.
Okay.
Green with the red hair. You know what I mean?
Oh Lord.
If I was
green with the red hair.
That's what I'm saying. Like if I had to choose based off of like a cool color, I think Eagles because they're really cool colors.
Fair.
But I'm a big fan of the color blue. That's like my favorite color. So maybe Bills. I don't know.
I love red. I love red, so the Chiefs are fine with me.
Okay, there you go.
They're fine with me.
There you go.
We are going to move things over to our poll. Let me pull it up here.
Right.
And here it is. Which do you prefer, cold or hot weather?
Ooh, I'm interested to see what this poll looks like. So I guess we got to click.
What would you say? Let's see what you say first. Cold or hot?
That's tough. Recently I would say cold. Because
really?
Whenever it gets really hot, it's like I have to, I can only shed so many layers.
Right.
But when it's cold, I can put on, an undershirt, and then, like when we were out in the snow on Tuesday, I had an undershirt, a flannel with a hood, and then I had a big jacket, and I felt warm outside.
That's fair.
And so I feel like you can put layers on, and also it's kind of the vibe right now is the cold weather. But I
know a
lot of folks down here, they moved here for hot weather.
Exactly.
They would rather it be
Bill Riles. Bill Riles moved
summer.
to the Gulf Coast for the weather, and he is so mad about this cold weather. I'm in between. Here's the thing. I don't mind the cold weather, but what we experienced on Tuesday, oh no. You guys can have it. You guys can have it.
I will say, it was cold on Tuesday. The coldest day was Wednesday morning.
That's true.
Wednesday was 6 degrees. Now that's too much cold. That's too cold.
Like I just wanted to be a little windy. The snow was cute for a little while, and I think I'm ready for it to go now.
It gets below 70, and I drag out my long underwear. yeah, exactly. We moved down here for some warm weather, so I totally get that. I like the cold. I hate the heat. That's kind of where I am right now. Like, when it gets too hot, it's just too much. I'm sweating all the time.
I'm with Mary. I'm ready for spring. Spring, bring it on.
I will say springtime weather is great. That in between where, like, temperatures in the 70s. Oh,
and nice. Grant, while we're talking about the weather, we actually want to kind of talk about where we are right now in the forecast. We're going to pull up some of your models.
That's my personal.
I was going to say, hold on. I went to your personal page. Here we go.
Okay, so let's talk about highs today. So Actually, MPD just sent out a message. They're kind of encouraging everyone to remember that there are still isolated spots with ice. One place that in particular that's pretty bad is in front of Government Plaza off Government Street. There's still a lot of ice on the west, like if you're traveling westbound and even eastbound too. There's a good bit of ice left over there. So there's going to be spots like that, especially shady areas. They're going to have some lingering ice. As temperatures warm up throughout the day to around 50 degrees, that will help thaw some of that through this afternoon. And then it's going to get even warmer this weekend if you want to show that next graphic. I want to kind of show those highs increasing. Look at Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, mid-60s by then. See, that's the kind of weather we like. That looks good.
I've been waiting on this kind of weather.
Yeah, so I saw this comment. Nicole said, what's the travel conditions from Bay Minette to Saraland? So if you're traveling from Bay Minette to Saraland, if you're going to travel south and go to I-10, I know there's a closure, but I don't think it would involve there's a closure on I-10 in Baldwin County, but I don't think it involves anywhere that you'd be traveling if you're going Bay Minette south.
Right.
I think it's to the east of you.
Yes. Most roadways, that includes I-10, I-65, are open.
Yes.
They're open. We are still just asking you all to be very careful on the roads. There are a lot of ice out there, and that's what we are talking about. And here is Mobile Police are asking you guys to really take heed to driving on these roads because a lot of that snow or that ice that melted yesterday refroze overnight.
Right. And the good news is a lot of it, like on our main roads, so talking like in Mobile, for example, like your Airport Boulevard, your Cottage Hill Road, a lot of those places that are frequented and they got a lot of sun, we saw much improved conditions there. But it's those overpasses, bridges, elevated spots where you can get some of that cool air riding over it. That kind of keeps the cold air over those spots and less melting to occur during the daytime yesterday. Now, today, it's going to be even warmer than yesterday, so that should help out. What about the Causeway traveling to Daphne? So if you're traveling from the Causeway heading eastbound to Daphne, the Causeway should be much improved at this point. I would still watch out for some isolated spots that have a little bit of icing. But the Causeway should be much improved because it's not as elevated as the Bayway. Causeway are probably a better option in general because of that. I will say the Causeway heading westbound might be a little bit busier right now because of that closure on 10. But that's kind of my thinking. I haven't been over to the Causeway in a little while, but I haven't heard anything about any closures or anything there, so it should be improving.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, well, we certainly appreciate you all joining us this morning for News 5 Now at 8 o'clock. You can go to our Facebook page at WKRG if you haven't already. Make sure that you're following us, liking our page, sharing the comments, and, of course, chiming in on the question and polls of the day. Thank you again for being here. Grant and I will be on for News 5 at 9 o'clock. Devin Walsh is out this morning, as well as, of course, Caroline Carithers. So we'll be taking over.
Yes, and Simone will be talking about more traffic updates. I know a lot of folks have questions about the roads.
Right.
So you can tune in then to talk about some of those conditions, and then we'll also be back at noon.
All right, y'all stay warm out there. Thanks for joining us. Have a great weekend.
Covering news from your neighborhood and around the world. You are watching News 5 Now, brought to you by Green & Phillips.